Welcome everybody to this week's KubeVirt community meeting. It is the 3rd of September 2025, and you know what that means. It's the VEP deadline day. So we might make this a slightly shorter meeting. I imagine there's quite a lot going on and you'll appreciate a shorter meeting. But before we get any further than that, is there anyone who is new here this week or would otherwise just like to introduce themselves to everyone? I'll take that as a not this time. Well, we know what the schedule is. Let's have a quick look. Today is VEP deadline day. We'll get to that in just a second. Where am I looking? KubeVirt Code freeze is still the 29th of October with a G8 date of the 19th of November. Can close that. Upcoming CFP, there are none that I'm aware of, but we do have some events. So I'm not going to put KubeVirt Summit on every week, just weeks that tickle my fancy. But it is always here if you need to go to the schedule or the registration page. It's the same page. We've also got KubeCon, Cloud NativeCon, North America coming up also in November, and a bunch of talks. They're either about KubeVirt or by people in the KubeVirt community. And we have a project booth. So that will be in the afternoons. That was accepted somewhat recently. I don't yet have a map available, but once it's there, I hope to put that there as well. Oh, what have I done? Alrighty, so the VEP deadline is today. If you have a VEP that is open and you're panicked about it, there are two things I would suggest. If it's related, if SIG Compute is the shepherding SIG, then I would highly recommend attending the SIG Compute weekly meeting that starts in 25 minutes. I don't know if it's worthwhile starting it early. If we finish early, is that to cover anything that needs to be covered from people who are already in this meeting that have things to discuss? Alternatively, if we have things, we can use the rest of the time in this meeting as well. Alternatively, there is you can request a freeze exception. This is for things that are almost at the line, but not quite and need just a little bit more time. Please see the mailing list. The link is here. As Vladek says, this has been a somewhat discombobulated release period over summer. It's the second time we've run the VEP process. So we're still ironing out and learning. Do we have any questions about the VEP deadline process, SIG Compute, anything like that? Good. That's a good silence, I think. Normally less good. So if no one else has anything that they want to add to the agenda, you're always welcome to add them. We'll always come back at the end of the meeting. A couple of things in the open floor. One is this I most recently raised as part of the 1.7 unconference, and so I had the time to open this yesterday. This is about, for those that weren't there, a docs PR required mechanism that is very much mimicking our release notes label needed. And so you don't need to have, well, if this goes ahead, you wouldn't necessarily need to have a merged docs PR, but you wouldn't be able to have your code PR merged without a docs PR existing in some state. Or the none flag as well works if it doesn't. Just the same as the release notes process. And so that's there if you've got feedback for that. I'd love some feedback before we go ahead and implement this. So something that I'm hoping to have done before our next release starts, 1.8 starts. There was nothing in the mailing list that I could see apart from the aforementioned VEP freeze. There might be some One thing I wanted to highlight here, just again, was the introduce the AI contribution policy. It's not something I've been able to entirely process and add my feedback on, but it affects all of us, and so that is something that if you haven't had the time, it's still there. It's still would appreciate your feedback on it. One other thing here was just advancing Alex to the SIG storage chair. If you want to add a +1 or any other comments to that PR, it's there. Hello.
No, sorry, I was just looking. I see that the PR is approved and it has LGTMs. Why? What are we holding for?
Good question. I think the hold originally, I might have put it there. No, it wasn't even me.
Is there an expiration date for the hold?
I don't think so. If you want to throw on an LGTM, we'll have a handful there, and we can say, "Hey."
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. I'll check back that in a second. In the future, I would like to go a little bit more into the community and user guide PRs and bugs that are open in this meeting. I think it's a good place for it. We discussed that last week, or rather, I raised it last week, and there was a couple of thumbs up. So I'm going ahead with it. I recognize this week maybe not a good one with the BEP deadline. How are we feeling about this? Do we want to? Are there any people that want to raise discussion on BEPs that they have active that they're desperately trying to get in before the deadline, or do we want to finish early to move into the SIG compute? I realize I asked a somewhat open-ended question. It sounds like we have severe ambivalence.
Looks like.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to presume that, or just hazard a guess rather, that people are maybe working on reviews on the sideline. So we might close this meeting early this week, and also give me a bit of a chance to triage some of these issues before we come together and review them, because I respect your time. So unless there's any objection, or if anyone wants to jump in now, add something to the agenda, or ask any questions, or just say something in the next 10 seconds, we'll close out. Righty, thank you very much. Good luck, everyone who's got a hectic couple of hours ahead of them. Good luck with all the BEPs that are on the board at the moment that haven't been approved.
אני
Hello?
בערך ב-6 נוסעת לאבו, ביקש שתבוא, אתה צריך לחתום לו על משהו.
Ruth?
שמעת? אוקיי, טוב.
Are you double calling? All right, I'm going to presume you're not talking in this meeting. I might just mute you. Hopefully. What a great way to finish this meeting. Thank you, everybody. Good luck again, and see you all next week. Have a lovely day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.